want no get so drastic.
Alongside Grant Hill and Clark Kellogg, I'm Brian Anderson. We'll talk to Allie LaForce, who's on the sidelines as well. It'll be the Rockets off the tip. Here's Green. The rebound by Allen. The Rockets went from 22 to 41 wins last year, finishing right at 500, Clark.
Great progress by Houston. Just missed the play-in in the West. They would have easily made that same play-in tournament in the East. A huge step forward for the Rockets, no doubt. And I think it's a team that can sustain that trajectory.
And so the ball out of bounds. Mobley touched it last. Green with the ball. To the inside. And he'll draw the foul. He'll head to the line for two. That one on Mitchell. Grant, the Cavs making the playoffs the last 2 years. A big deal in Cleveland.
Well, outside of years with LeBron on the roster, they hadn't made the postseason since 1998. But this group of Cavaliers are making their own history now.
Now let's send it over to Allie LaForce, who was able to talk with Ime Udoka.
We discussed how he wants his team to approach their matchup with Evan Mobley, and Coach said we need to make him a jump shooter. Mobley is most effective around the rim. He's still developing his jump shot, and we need to take advantage of that. There should be a lot of resistance in the paint from his defense, BA.
Okay, thanks, Allie.
First team foul.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far.
Inside, Garland outplays his size, using speed and agility to get it done.
Here's Van Vliet. Oh, and Mobley with the block. Outside Mitchell. Allen inside. That one falls. Nice setup by Mitchell.
Well, I love the mindset of Allen there. I mean, when he gets the ball in that spot, he's very aggressive.
Here's Green. Unable to get that one. Nice D from Allen. Garland feeling it out a bit. And it's Strus off the drive. A good look from Allen. And the sweet roll that time on the rim. That one falls. Allen's got his second basket of the game.
Boy, the big fella is so skilled. I mean, Jared Allen's jump shot is excellent for a center. Solid mechanics, and it really spaces the floor for him and his teammates.
Now here's Van Vliet. Green for three. That shot off. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Here's Mitchell. It's rebounded by Houston.
And even with the miss, that's a high percentage shot for him. Miscommunication oftentimes leads to turnovers. That's something they'll want to discuss.
The Cavaliers lead by 6. And we know Donovan Mitchell is a superb scorer. But Grant, what do you think he's focused on at this point of his career?
Well, BA, it's all about championships for him. This is a guy that doesn't just want to be seen as an elite player. He really wants to compete for titles, too.
And Ime Udoka has called timeout. I think right now he must be looking at some adjustments. Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. To the middle. Here's Şengün. They need this. Goes back up. They shoot again. Thompson pulls it in.
Man, I can't believe he blew that gimme, guys. Well, I know he's frustrated about that.
Houston shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. That free throw good from Şengün. The NBA becoming more and more global, Clark. Şengün, a perfect example of that.
Yeah, Alperen Şengün out of Turkey. Right now on the fast track to being the best player to ever come out of his homeland. So still very young, but boy, his future is quite bright.
Rockets trail by 6. Green with the ball. Now guarded by Mobley. Pass to Şengün. Here's Brooks, covered by Strus. 6 to shoot. Throws it up high. .124 left in the opening quarter. Here's Green. And it's good. First made shot in 4 attempts.
Exactly how you run the pick and roll. Green looking very comfortable and confident in these sets.
Thompson with a steal. Back comes Houston in transition. And it's hammered home by Green.
And you can tell they're in sync right now, expertly turning the steal into fast break points.
Cleveland again missing. Down low. And it's Green missing. 2-for-1 opportunity if they can time it right.
Great way to end the quarter.
And it's Green missing. The Rockets trail. Here's Şengün. And that one's good. And Green with the assist.
Woo! His energy is unmatched.
And you know you're going to get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Count it.
Just owning the painted area. If it's working, no need to change.
Here's Van Vliet. Soft touch off the glass.
Keeping the game simple. Van Vliet just working the defense and taking what he sees there.
And it's Garland on the drive. That'll count. It's a tie game here in Houston. And we'll be back in just a minute with the start of the second quarter.
The Cavaliers.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
Well, I've liked their assertiveness inside. They've been getting that way and playing that way the whole time, setting the tone right away that the inside area is their territory.
After years of finishing at the bottom of the West, things are looking up for the Rockets, Clark.
You know, B.A., they've done a really good job of drafting and developing players. That combination can allow you to move forward. And along with signing complementary veterans, that adds to the mix as well. And they've done a nice job. And they've got future draft capital, too. So the Rockets are certainly on the rise.
You know, Smith came into the league as a capable and confident shooter off the catch.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
The Cavaliers have great size up front. They have Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, who said, "We have each other's backs." That's the advantage of having 2 7-footers. If you blow by the first one, there's a second one waiting for you. Brian, they'll make it tough.
No doubt, waves and waves of length inside. Thanks, Allie.
Driving inside, Mitchell uses his speed to get the better of the defense. They just can't keep up.
Here's Holiday. Outside Eason. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Şengün. Hits it. Now 2 of 6 from the field.
That is what Şengün brings this team, the ability to turn misses into makes, doing the dirty work down low.
Here's Whitmore. Oh, a huge slam! An exclamation point on that break.
And it's energy like that on both ends of the floor that's got them out ahead.
The 3 hits a three-pointer.
You know, pretty much anybody can hit that shot when they're that wide open. I mean, terrible defense.
And Ime Udoka has called timeout. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players. Well, Grant, when the money's on the line, the mid-range is still a big part of the elite player's game.
You're right, B.A. And really, it comes down to touch, obviously. And size certainly helps. And then the savvy and balance to create that space.
Now here's Thompson. Up and in on the layup. Thompson's got 5.
And you see the tight handles from Thompson. He can break defenders down in pick and roll, ISO, you name it.
Outside for Mitchell. There's a screen by Okiki. Inside. Comes up empty down low. And Van Vliet has got the ball here for Houston. Şengün, the screen. Fires, top of the key. Van Vliet misses.
Well, the defense got lucky there with him missing it, but they don't want to chance that again.
Here's Mitchell. Oh, a clear foul there on the missed shot. So he'll get a pair at the line.
What you love about Mitchell, he plays with energy, explosiveness, and courage.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. Houston in the lead. If you look at rebounding rate, Tari Eason is one of the best in the NBA, Clark.
Yeah, you think about rate, it basically looks at what percentage of rebounds do you get while you're on the floor. And Eason is prolific in terms of boards per minute, uses his 6'8" frame well, and he's gobbling up rebounds at well under 1 every 3 minutes. That's a lot of heavy lifting there, folks.
Back to Okiki. Shoots from the right block. Doesn't go for him. Good work defensively by Whitmore. Fast break. Here come the Rockets. Eason, good. There's 1:26 left in the second. And the call will be against Fred Van Vliet. That's foul number 2 for him. And Kenny Atkinson has called a timeout. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. For the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers trail by 3. Here's Garland. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. It's going to be on Jabari Smith.
And Garland does a little bit of everything. A versatile guard with a bright, bright future.
And so he makes both from the line. And Grant, when you look at Darius Garland, he has a very polished offensive game.
Absolutely. He's great at creating for himself, but also knows when to get others involved. He can score from anywhere, and he works incredibly hard on his craft.
Pass to Thompson. Outside for Green. Strus with it. Back to Mobley. Shot clock at 6. Cleveland needs to get off a shot. Here's Garland. And there's the drive. It's good on the putback. And the Cavaliers lead by 1.
Look, Tristan Thompson is a relentless glass eater on both ends, so you got to get a body on it.
Already 5 lead changes here.
Speaks to how evenly matched these teams have been thus far.
Darius Garland.
And that one good.
Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
And he lobs it up to the rim. And stolen by Mobley. Pass to Garland. From the high post. Again, Garland missing.
If they take their time, this will be the final possession of the quarter.
Yeah, they've got to hold for the last shot here.
Back to Smith. No good from outside. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that's been very close so far. Cleveland on top, up by 1. And we'll see you back here after the break. Third quarter action in just a bit. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard. Here's Garland. He got a piece of it.
I mean, that was pure hustle by Van Vliet, giving his all to influence the shot and swat it away.
The Cavaliers leading. And there's the call on Amin Thompson. That's his first foul.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Mobley deciding where to go with it. Pass to Strus. Clock at 6. Outside Garland. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
And we see this night in and night out. Garland making things happen.
Garland hits them both.
Making shots at the line. You need a good routine, and he certainly has one.
Thompson with a screen. VanVleet drives. And the slam dunk by Thompson.
Oh, Amen Thompson. Incredible verticality.
Garland with the ball. Green picks him up. Green up top. Pass to Mobley. Back to Green. Mobley outside. And it's stolen by VanVleet. He stops. He pops. And that one drops. VanVleet's got 6 points.
And clearly from mid-range, VanVleet seems pretty comfortable. As long as he likes the angle, that's a shot he can make. And put your head down and go to work. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, these teams trading punches right now. I mean, it's table tennis. Back and forth we go.
All right, let's get a report from Ali.
Well, similarities in the games of Alperen Şengün and Nikola Jokic. A couple years back, Jokic suggested that Houston run their offense more through him, and they have. Jokic said that's going to benefit the whole organization. He wants to pass and play for the team. They'll move when the ball is in his hands. Brian?
Well, Jokic would know. Thanks, Ali.
Working that pick and roll action superbly. Şengün knows exactly where he needs to be.
Thompson with a steal. Brooks with it. Now guarded by Mobley. And it's hammered home by Green. These teams just keep trading the lead.
Yeah, you wonder what it's going to take for someone to pull away.
And they blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance at another one at the stripe.
They make Garland outwork them, but that's just what he does to win the and one opportunity.
And here's VanVleet. He'll bring it up for Houston. Trailing by 2. To the paint. Out of bounds. Rockets ball as Houston keeps possession. And Kenny Atkinson has called a timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys.
Yeah, coach no doubt wants to use this timeout to review the matchups and maybe make some adjustments as well.
Yeah, and I agree. I think there's going to be a new wrinkle in their game plan when they come out of this timeout.
And we've got a timeout called by Kenny Atkinson. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. And here's Green from the arc. Mobley grabs the board. And here comes Cleveland. The lead is 2. Clark, what catches your eye about Jalen Green at a fundamental level?
Well, it starts with his pure explosiveness. That just jumps out at anybody because he's jumping over everybody, okay? The way he can get up and down the floor and hang and lift. And that's what stands out, his athleticism. And he's actually rounding off some of the rough edges in his game that makes him kind of scary as we go forward.
Back comes Houston in transition. Here's Green. And here's Thompson for 3. And that one's good. And Green with the assist.
And this is big for Thompson's confidence. He needs to keep hitting from downtown.
And the call will be against Fred VanVleet. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Here's Garland. And there's a whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
No debate there. He got hammered.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
He's made all 5 of his attempts at the line. And good on the second, so he makes them both. The Rockets trail. VanVleet with it. Picked up by Allen. For 3, Smith. And Houston, another 3.
Yeah, looking so comfortable out there on the perimeter. Smith has really invested in getting this shot dialed in.
Garland, no good. 1:06 left in the third. Outside, Green. Smith outside. The three is up. Sinks the tray. And now a 5-point Rocket lead.
Jabari Smith went top 3 in the draft for his shooting. And boy, is that jumper pretty.
Allen outside. And that's a foul called on Donovan Mitchell. That'll be a second foul of the game.
And the over and back call is just a loss of focus.
Yeah, clearly an unforced mistake there. You got to keep your head in the game and tighten that handle.
Now here's Green. And he lobs it up. Ooh, the dunk by Smith.
And look at Smith making the heads-up play, rolling into open position right on cue.
On the wing, Mitchell. Cleveland again missing. And it's Houston's ball. They're on a 17-7 run. They get it back. Eason with some nice D. The shot no good. And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth.
The Cavaliers, 41.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth quarter. Houston leading by 7. Now Holiday. Smith outside. On the wing, Whitmore. Buries it from 3.
Not the best three-point shooter in the league, but he's got enough skill that you can't just let him fire it up.
And there's the call on Tari Eason. That'll be a second foul of the game. And the Rockets making a change here. Here's Mitchell.
For your Rockets,
Mitchell showing some muscle.
Look at Mitchell's commitment to his shot. Doesn't let the contact slow him down.
Pick by Smith. Holiday drives in. Good on the shot.
And the defense has no one to blame but themselves. I mean, they just let him get right to the rim.
You know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
Boy, you love how guys are making plays for one another here.
Yeah, just a balanced attack, a total team effort.
Shepard. And he starts out with a miss in this one. Cavaliers trail by 10. From deep, Mitchell. Again, the miss by Mitchell. Here's Shepard. Pass to Holiday. Here's Shepard. Shot clock at 6. Back to Smith. Takes the 3. And he drains it. A solid 5 for 6 now.
Yeah, we're seeing some of that potential everyone is talking about with Smith. Just a talented offensive player.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Well, over the break, I did listen in on Kenny Atkinson's huddle. And it was a frustrated huddle. Coaches and players were angry about the turnovers. Players trying to hold each other accountable. They're fed up with sloppy play. Let's see how they respond. Guys.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Allie. Here's Thompson. Oh, and Mobley with the block. Cleveland again missing. Houston leading by 13. Here's Green. In close. Green puts it in.
Showing off his inside game, which will complement Green's game on the outside. It'll force defenders to have to guard him in different places on the floor.
And they've won the battle on the board so far, and the scoreboard reflects that.
Well, the effort level they've had has been outstanding. Hard to keep a team down when they play with that much energy.
The open shot by Thompson. Good. And Van Vliet gets the assist.
A confident shot from Amen. I mean, when he trusts his J, Thompson is that much more difficult to check.
Green with the ball. Now guarded by Mobley. And it's Green missing.
You know, sometimes making it difficult for him to finish at the rim is all you can ask for from the defense. One of the reasons they're behind is because we haven't seen enough of that. He needs to become a bigger part of the offense.
Thompson with a screen. Let's go with a three. Drills it from deep. Thompson's got 12 points here in the second half.
They have a relentless mentality, even with the game in total control.
And, you know, until that final buzzer sounds, I mean, you've got to treat every possession like it's crucial.
All right, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Rockets.
Their defensive intensity has served them well. It kept the offense scrambling and resulted in several steals.
Fires from way outside. The rebound by Allen.
If you're looking for ways to help your team, that's last on the list.
Hey, that's crazy there. I mean, insanity. At least wait until you get across half court. My goodness.
Well, the scoreboard tells you everything you need to know about this one. A great showing here for the Rockets.
Pretty clear who the better team was today. They dominated in just about every phase of this game, Grant.
B.A., it's almost hard to think what didn't go well for them. Their plan, their execution, everything was absolutely on point.
And when you look at the game, the one thing that helped fuel this team to victory was the efficiency for Amen Thompson.
Tell you what, this guy worked his behind off on both ends of the floor. He was really an intimidating presence out there.
So it's the Cavaliers now. Poke loose. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Van Vliet.
Substitution on the court.
Here's Garland. Pass to Hunter. Back to Garland. Eason with a steal. Here's Holiday. Over Garland. And the basket by Holiday.
Their home crowd has energized them all game. Now they're closing it out.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
From deep, Mobley. That shot missing. And so Holiday will bring it up for Houston. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth. Picked by Smith. Pass to Whitmore. Outside Holiday. And so Houston takes this one by a big margin, showing that they're the far superior team. They win it going away.
I'll tell you what, give it up for their fans. They love to watch this team dominate. You best believe they're all going home happy tonight.
And that'll do it, folks. For Allie LaForce, Clark